这样年轻就离开？每次的回答都一样，不会。我知道要去的地方，那里有我主耶稣及亲友等着我。他已为我准备好永远的家，这是最美的应许，也是基督徒所向往之处。先去是祝福。我的一生起伏不大，但色彩不错。长短不重要，只问亏欠辜负少，祝福给予多。只愿能有机会为上帝的国度传福音，福音传扬多进心里，使更多人得着主里的平安喜乐。神祝福你，以马内利，秀慧。那就来看给你们My life story. I'm Chen. Born on a beautiful day appointed by God. Likewise, I departed for my heavenly dwelling in a wonderful hour appointed by Him. This journey was the easiest one for me to prepare, since I did not have to carry anything with me. Beautifully dressed, I was leaving with a smile. Do you want to know about my family? I gave birth to two daughters and had a godson. I was the fourth among 5 siblings, with 2 older brothers, 1 older sister, and 1 younger brother. I had not suffered until I became ill when I was 50 years old. Now I finally departed from my earthly tent and returned to my true eternal home. Please celebrate it for me. Are you wearing your most beautiful dresses at my farewell party? I was afraid that my family, relatives, and friends would only want to talk about my strengths and virtues. Therefore, I decided to write about my true self. Hopefully, I should know more about myself than others do, right? I was lucky to inherit some of my parents' strengths. In particular, these are perseverance and hardworking from my father, and humor from my mother. Possessing part of their strengths was adequate for me to go through my life journey. My mother used to introduce me by saying, "This is my family's Miss Just Average." At school, I stay away from being ranked first or last. Who cares about class rankings anyway? When I was a schoolgirl, I received a few certificates of merit to comfort myself and my parents. After that, I did not win anything, not even a raffle prize. I did not have great achievements, nor did I master any skills. Here is another way my mother would describe me to others. Don't argue with her. She can turn white into black to make you speechless. Even if you don't agree with her, you will find yourself with little to say. Furthermore, she has a fighting spirit of cobra. Your best course of action is to withdraw yourself from confronting her. This may sound a bit ridiculous, but it conveys some truth. On the other hand, I took responsibilities seriously in whatever I did. Just like my father, I worked hard and gave my best effort to pursue perfection. This might be my one and only virtue. I probably have done something good. As a result, I had a steady stream of friends who cared for me constantly. I received tremendous amounts of blessing and help ever since I became ill. Who could be luckier than I was? There were many people near and far praying for me day and night. There were those who cooked for me. When I had a surgery, those who accompanied me outnumbered the medical team. When I recuperated, my family, relatives, and friends took turns caring for me. On multiple occasions, I was sent to the emergency room. My daughters, son-in-law, older sister, and niece were with me on demand. My friends visited me and prayed for me all the time. It seemed that my life surpasses the expectations or my nickname, Miss Just Average. I was so grateful for being able to know Jesus and to experience his constant presence by my side. Through complete reliance on him, I was able to draw strength to face whatever life brought. I grew up in a Christian family, obediently going to church, attending Sunday school, and participating in fellowships. Looking back, I realized that God had nurtured me over time and made me a vessel of use to him. Though I even rebelled against him, God never gave up on me, but received me back to his bosom at an opportune time. I wanted to thank God for his overflowing, abundant grace through my family. When I experienced great pains due to my illness, I would sing two hymns loudly. One is, "Blessed be the name of the Lord." Its main phrase is translated to "Jesus is victorious" in Chinese. The other is, "Jesus is the same, yesterday, today, and forever." I thank God for giving me the empathy to be aware of the illnesses and pains experienced by others. I pray to be grateful and obedient, regardless whether God wanted me to keep me alive or to bring me home. I enter this world on a beautiful day appointed by God. I believed I would be going to my Heavenly Father's home in a wonderful hour appointed by him. Some people asked, "Do you have any regret by leaving at such a young age?" Each time I had the same reply, "Not at all. I know the place where I am going. Over there, my Lord Jesus, relatives, and friends are awaiting me. He has prepared an eternal home for me. This is the most beautiful promise for all Christians to look forward to. It is a blessing for me to arrive early." My life journey was undulating, with only a few rises and falls, but in any case, it was colorful. Regardless of its length, my hope was that I had brought you few disappointments, but many blessings. How I wished to grasp every opportunity to give myself to God's kingdom and this good news, so as to help more people to receive the peace and joy in the Lord. May God bless you. Emmanuel, happy Chen.
This next song,
my mom forced us to sing. So, growing up in church, every parent wants their, I don't know, it's supposed to be normal, but this is what happens at K. Every parent wants their child to, during Mother's Day or something, to go up and, share or play violin or piano or something. So, she kept telling us that she wanted us to sing the song called The Prayer. And then my sister and I were like, we don't want to do it. But she's very persuasive, so that's why we're here now. And also because, when we get to heaven, we'll hear about it if we don't. But I think the main thing is that convinced us. Well, it's the fact that, she wanted us to do it and we love her, but she also said that she wanted this to be a gift to you guys from her. So, it's not up to us if she wants to have this as a gift to everybody. It's not up to us to stop her. So it's called The Prayer, and she really likes the song.
非常遗憾，不能亲自到美国跟你话及最后一面。相信你能谅解身边人的苦衷。这几年来，你辛苦了，也许累了吧。虽然你的离开，我们有千百个不舍，但请你安息吧。回到基督的伊甸园，这20几年来，我们姐弟总是聚少离多。虽然已经习惯了这样的生活方式，但是听到你过世的消息，眼泪还是情不自禁的夺眶而出。二姐，这辈子我们一直没有好好的跟对方聊过知心话，但此时我真是很想告诉你，我真的好想你，愿敬爱你。谢谢你曾经疼惜我，关心我，盼来生有缘大家再做一家人，彼此相互珍惜和关爱。我也知道你走后，最放心不下是妈妈，请别担心，我们会好好照顾她。还有姐夫，心理的问题，我们都会更加关照。二姐永别了，一路好走，回到主的身边，得永生，我们都会怀念你。最后，我要深深的感谢一直以来陪伴二姐的教友和朋友们，你们的照顾和关心我的二姐，谢谢你们。小弟文昌，请家人送别。
拄仔做着阮小妹秀慧40纪念日因为阮爱搁转去台湾，因为这机票袂当甲伊价钱，但是我是代表我的兄弟斗阵来追思阮这小妹秀慧，因为阮这秀慧对阮这兄弟姊妹对信仰的传播真认真、真拍拼。阮逐个对圣经搁较知，虽然阮一家拢出个许多大个家庭，但阮对信仰的建立，阮这小妹秀慧出真大个困难。甲阮调查圣经，甲阮解说圣经。自我来遐阿根廷，嘛是因为伊带我去，我才开始进入教会，研究圣经。然后虽然伊来美国，我来阿根廷。嘛是对遐得到真大个福气，因为我特别来经过美国，为小妹拢会摕圣经，我会记得甲旧年经过时阵，伊搁甲传道书条我看，然后甲解释我内底信仰。我对伊读的进步足多，信仰也比较坚定，真可惜，伊就安尼要离开阮。要去天堂甲上帝伫地，一只心内感谢上帝。但是对咱人生来讲，一个兄弟失去一个小妹，嘛是真感觉委屈、感叹。但这个悲伤，希望是因为经过阮小妹的团信仰，阮来互伊的气力，甲这福音传播世界，所需要明白耶稣基督的。主啊，希望这天意好我照顾伊，也好我带阮在世间遮的兄弟姊妹继续行这传福音的路。感谢大家来参加的追思礼拜，遮甲大家感谢。
A little bit, and she also wanted to kind of give an opportunity to, if anybody wanted to come up and say something, they could say something. I wasn't sure if I was going to share, but you know, some things have been sticking in my mind the last room and stuff. I was basically her roommate. And, after college, I moved home. I've been living at home, and even after Sam and I got married, I'm still living with her. So it's been a long time that we've been together, and, I've got to see her ups and downs. And, I'm even wearing her clothes today. Yeah, I just wanted to just talk about just kind of how the last 6 months have been really hard on her. Just ever since she got cancer, but they've been really hard on her because as people have shared about her is that, she really likes to talk to people, more like debate with people, but she really likes to talk about the Bible. She really likes to just kind of find out how people were doing. She liked to really serve other people, help other people. She liked to go to church. When she was doing chemo, she would be like throwing up and in pain, and then on Sunday she would still manage to make it to church because it actually really lifted her spirits. Like, it was like a miracle drug. She'd come home, even though it's like really tiring, she'd come home from church really like fiery and loud. Over the last 6 months, her health really went downhill pretty quickly. She lost really her ability to do the things that she loved, which is come to church, help serve others. Church was where all her friends were, so she would really talk to everybody here. And she liked to look really pretty. If you don't know, her secret to looking nice was that she would sit there, look at a Talbot's catalog, and then wait until like a year later to buy the piece that she liked, like diligently clicking through the website to get a sale. So she'd always look really nice, but she'd be like, it was $3. But yeah, she liked to look pretty, but also she liked to not spend too much money. And so I think it was really tough for her when, all she could do was just wear pajamas all day and be in bed. And also, I think just getting skinnier and skinnier, in the end, it was kind of hard for her to receive visitors sometimes. Like, unless it was like really close friends or people who had been visiting her throughout the whole journey. It was hard for her to accept visitors because she didn't want them to see her the way she was, so skinny. And she didn't want, them to remember her that way. But I'm kind of saying this not because I want people to feel depressed, but I think knowing how tough she had it the last 6 months, I think it makes me even happier that she is where she is, that she's happy now. She gets to basically go to church every day because she's with God. She gets to talk to everybody and catch up with all her families and friends that she lost over the years. She gets to hang out with my son Josiah. And she gets to look pretty because, in heaven, you look healthy, there's no sickness. She probably has the halo and some wings. and she gets to just look good and glow. And she really loved choir and singing, and then she'll get to do that, for eternity. What she really loved, and it was tough for her at then also because she couldn't. Her voice was really hoarse. She was really weak, so it was hard for her to even talk sometimes on the phone. But aside from all those things that we say this is what she was, this is who she was, I think the biggest part of who she was her faith in God. I think a lot of people have illustrated that through their sharing. I think last month she was sharing with the spiritual care counselor who came to visit from the hospice, and she said basically like she was always telling me that her biggest fear is like having a long, drawn out, suffering death. But at that time, she really shared her biggest fear. And her biggest fear was actually that she would suffer to a point where she would be so disappointed in God and lose her faith. But as you guys all know, she never did. And by the grace of God, she was able to. He only gave her what she could bear. And by the strength of her faith, she was able to trust God, even when she was actually yelling at him and complaining it to him at home. A lot of times, when visitors come, of course she doesn't want to, be angry. But whenever she was alone with me, she would, complain and say all these things. I said, that's okay, because God hears you. And even if you're complaining about why God isn't taking you home earlier or why you're in pain, she's still talking to God. And that's all that really mattered. It didn't matter that she had to be happy or have this perfect faith. She just had to continue knowing that he was there and waiting for her. And a lot of people, throughout illnesses and everything, you hear people say, if you have faith, you'll be healed and all this stuff, right? Kind of one of her pet peeves, because people keep saying that. But I feel like, the true test of faith is not, waiting for healing or waiting for, goodness to come about in this world, but it's really to, suffer in this world and still keep your faith. And I feel like my mom really did that. I mean, I've never seen anybody suffer so much as my mom did in the last month, or nobody that I knew personally. But she was still able to talk about God and keep her faith. So I think I just want to thank everybody for visiting her, praying for her, because I think, in the times when it was really bad for her and really uncomfortable, I don't think she could have kept so strong if people didn't come and visit, cook her food, pray for her. Even one old pastor, Michael Lin, he came over and he brought his guitar and he sang some songs to her. I think she really, really appreciated that. And it was hard. I was relieved that she is no longer in pain. I think what is really hard is, seeing all her old, going through all her old stuff, all her old pictures, and just remembering who she used to be before she got sick, and how everybody keeps emailing us and calling us and telling us, your mom was the most fun and vivacious and fire person, and whenever she came in, the party would get started, and yeah, that is who she really was, despite losing some of those abilities in the end, that is really who she was, and that's how she is now. She's returning to her old fiery, kind of stubborn, independent, funny person. So I just want you guys to remember that she's like that now, and that her faith never changed. Everything else might have, but her faith never changed. So, thank you.
Wendy's been living with her mom for all her life, and so when Wendy and I got married, this is really loud. When Wendy and I got married, well, when we were getting ready to get married, we were thinking about what married life would look like, and I think at the time it was I was like, you're not gonna live we're not gonna live with your mom, right? Little did I know. But we can live with her now, and then, you know, maybe at some point we'll, you know, branch out and live by ourselves, whatever. And so she had cancer already, like we knew she was living with cancer when we got married. And we were really hoping, you know, praying that she would get better, so that, you know, we could all kind of, yeah. But, okay, so let me step back. So, when I first got married, the one thing that you're always scared of, well, if you're Asian, if you watch Korean dramas, the one thing you're always scared of is the mother-in-law, right? Always, right? Because they're the person that's, you know, can make or break your marriage or whatever. So I was worried a little, but as I got to know Wendy's mom, yeah, I mean, like all the things. I mean, you guys have already heard it, right? So I don't have to repeat it. I mean, she was yeah. I mean, she wasn't perfect, but I think for me personally, the thing I appreciated about her the most was she really took me in as her son. You know, even though we're not